What is up, guys? Lincoln here. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Dread Captures. Those are my kids. Okay. Alright, I'm back. They're quiet for now. Let's watch some awesome trending videos. As always, please like, subscribe, share with a friend. I will see you in the comments. Thank you. So, have you guys ever heard of rock apes? I mean, forget Bigfoot. These hairy humanoids hail from the jungles of Thailand and Vietnam. Imagine a creature between 3 to 7 feet tall, covered in fur. Red, orange, brown, black. There's always a variation. They just look strong. Broad shoulders, muscular build, but the funny part is that they kind of have a pot belly. Now, unlike their shy American cousin, rock apes aren't afraid of humans. They've even been spotted hanging out with villagers and building fires, which makes them sound pretty intelligent, right? Well, if you don't believe me, things get wild after the Vietnam War. American soldiers come back with stories of encountering these creatures, and these aren't just peaceful hangouts. They claim to have full-blown firefights with rock-throwing rock apes. It got so intense, there was a whole mountainside nicknamed Monkey Mountain because of all of the sightings and all of the battles. Now, some people might scoff that these are trained soldiers we're talking about, and I get it, there really should be another explanation. But check out this soldier talking about his experience, notably a band of large primates throwing rocks at his platoon.
I had heard that there had been previous problems with what we called rock apes, and in fact, at one point, a band of them threw one Marine off the rock pile. And so we were wary of them, without a doubt. This animal was stockier, he was of darker color, a lot more muscular. This different creature would, early in the morning, burst out of the jungle into a clearing and just rail at us, just yell and scream and shake his fists, and it was very human behavior, and it was real obvious that he took exception to our presence there.
Another special clip here from Sonny Vader. Back on May 30th, a trucker near Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, northwest of the Sunchild First Nation Reservation, had a heart-stopping encounter. The man was picking up equipment at a rural industrial site when he spotted a giant beast. I mean, we're talking 11 to 13-ish feet tall, just standing there in the woods amongst the trees. The trucker didn't see it at first, but luckily his dash cam caught the creature on camera as he drove onto the site. According to him, he only realized it was there when he got out of his truck to load the equipment. Now, needless to say, he hightailed it out of there. Sonny says that to investigate further, remote cameras have been set up around the site. You can check his channel out, so stay tuned for updates. This could be a real-life monster sighting. Checking in, we've got some creepy sounds in the woods. This clip from Cryptid University on Instagram shows a remote cabin nestled deep in the wilderness. But listen closely, you might hear something besides the usual crickets chirping. Those whoops, howls, and growls in the background? Yeah. Bigfoot believers say that's exactly what they are. Bigfoot vocalizations. I mean, these sounds are the stuff of legend, reported by people who claim to have encountered this hairy giant. They can be loud, deep, and sometimes even sound human-like. There are all sorts of Bigfoot calls on record. Howls and screams said to be long, loud, and eerie. Some folks even compare them to a human scream or a wolf howling. There are growls and grunts that are lower pitched, more animalistic sounds. Then we have whistles and clicks, high-pitched noises, some describes as bird-like or even dolphin-like. Wood knocks, which I hear a lot where I live, are also a thing, like someone hitting a tree with a baseball bat. Some researchers think that Bigfoot uses them to communicate over long distances. So, what do you guys think? Do we have a video capturing Bigfoot serenading the Tennessee woods? Many skeptics say these sounds could be anything: wind, animals, people messing around. But like I mentioned in my own life, believers point to how often these reports happen across many places and cultures. Anyhow, listen to the clips again and let me know in the comments. Do we think this is Bigfoot or something else entirely? Okay, check this out. Let me tell you now, this is not something you want to have happen to you. Look, as these guys are just frolicking in this waterfall, and one of the guys starts to just lose his mind. He's frantic. And you'll see why in a second. Yes, that is a snake that has crawled up the leg of his pants. Now, I'm not sure how. I don't have any other information. Of course, this could be a hoax, but I mean, this thing looks like it's a pretty big boy. Now, I'll be honest, I don't want an earthworm in my pants, let alone a gigantic 6-foot snake that appears to have latched onto a part of my body I am not willing to lose. Ay, 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 man, get me out of there. Yeah, so this creepy story straight from Reddit user Haunted Luca will have you checking over your shoulder next time you're wandering through the woods. The footage, captured on a body camera somewhere in the Sunshine Coast hinterland of Australia, has viewers spooked. So the hiker takes a break near some rocks and spots an old tent. It looks to be crumpled up, and his curiosity is begging him for a closer look. Hold on a sec, that's not what we're looking at right now. As something catches our eyes and pulls our attention away from the tattered tent, check what really has everyone buzzing. Look closely at the bushes way back in the background. Some eagle-eyed viewers might catch a glimpse of a tall, dark figure moving slowly behind the trees. It blends in with the shadows, but a closer look, especially in the slow motion section, reveals more. The figure appears again a few seconds later, but like before, it's tough to say for sure without slowing things down. I mean, what is this? Is this a hoax? Is this just some type of trick, or is there something more sinister lurking in Australia? I don't know, maybe it's just a creepy shadow, but I'm not heading to the outback anytime soon, so. Yeah, so this next clip, this hiker's got to be careful. He decided to leave a snack on a trail in hopes he could lure something out. And if you look at the top right corner of the clip, something's lurking in the bushes. The uploader thinks it could be a Yowie, Australia's answer to Bigfoot. These legendary creatures are supposed to be tall and hairy, kinda like apes, but with huge feet. Most folks say they're shy and peaceful, while others say they can be aggressive. I'd say that most people agree on one thing: they smell pretty bad. There have been whispers of Yowies for ages. Stories from Aboriginal people go back to the 1800s. Even naturalists back then reported seeing these giant hairy guys. One dude said he saw one near Bateman's Bay that was like 5 feet tall, covered in black hair, had beady eyes, hunched shoulders, just pretty creepy. So are these hiker videos the real deal? Could Yowies actually be roaming the Australian outback still? Take a closer look at the footage and let me know what you think in the comments. I mean, maybe there's a perfectly normal explanation. I love how the cat jumps from the hot tub into the pool and then finally out. His owner's like, dude, what are you doing out here? What's going on? I'll say this, and like many of you know, it's not often you catch a cat losing its cool like this. They're usually so nimble and graceful. Anyhow, funny video. Now, while this is a pretty cute video, I would imagine that it's kind of scary too. It's one thing to see some cubs climbing on your fence, but when mama's there, you already know what time it is. Just do what this person did, get their phone out, and stay away, because mama is not having it. And this looks like it happened in a pretty suburban area. I know there's tons of wildlife in Colorado. I have some friends who post stuff all day long. Deer in the middle of the road in front of their house, standing in their driveway. Nevertheless, I hope this little family gets to where it's going. Have you heard about the rumors of a ghost girl haunting a road in Tolima, Colombia? Travelers, especially those on motorcycles, have been reporting weird experiences along this route. It's gotten so bad that locals are even asking authorities to escort them when they drive through. One witness claims to have photo proof. They saw a ghostly girl clinging to the back of a truck at night. The witness, who didn't believe in ghosts before, was freaked out and snapped pictures to show the truck driver how dangerous it was to have a child riding back there. But when they caught up to the truck, the driver was like, "Look, dude, there's no girl." And his face lost all color, because he's already familiar with these local ghost stories, and he is freaked out. Apparently, motorcyclists often feel a presence behind them, like someone sitting there. Folks in Colombia believe it's the restless spirit of a young girl. I mean, it's sad to think she can't find peace, for sure. And this isn't the only spooky tale from this region. There are even legends of gold pools guarded by the devil himself. But with all these stories floating around, no wonder people are both scared and curious about the ghost girl on this creepy Colombian road. What say you guys? Have you heard about this at all? A video on Reddit is raising eyebrows. User Drust Legend posted footage their friend believes captures La Llorona, the legendary weeping woman. The clip is dark and shaky, but a shadowy figure in a flowing white dress seems to drift beneath a dim streetlight. I'll say one thing for sure, it definitely sets the neighborhood dogs on edge. You can hear them barking like crazy in the background. Then, just as the hairs on your neck stand up, an eerie wail pierces the night air. Freaked out yet? So, could this be genuine evidence of La Llorona searching for her lost children? Or is there a more logical explanation lurking out there? I'll let you watch and decide for yourself, but I would love to know what you think, because this lady seems to keep rearing her ugly head. Alright, has everyone seen this mind-blowing video on Unanswered Universe's Instagram? It seems to be a phone footage of a security camera recording. It shows a man literally vanishing into thin air. We see a car pass by and poof, he's gone. Viewers are understandably spooked. Could this be a cleverly edited video? Like, come on. Maybe a technical glitch with the camera itself? One commenter even threw out a wild theory, which I don't actually think is that wild, but that this is a glitch in the Matrix, aka the simulation. So what do we think? Did he genuinely disappear, defying the laws of physics, or is there a more rational explanation lurking somewhere? For what it's worth, I believe that we are in a simulation to some degree. There are too many weird things going on, but that's for another day. This is an adorable video right here. Look, don't worry, the duck did not get hurt, everyone's fine. But this puppy has grabbed this duck and is taking off while everyone chases. I mean, look at its little legs going. I got a prize, I got a prize. Okay, so this video was sent to me by a friend who is completely new to the world of cryptids and sent this to me with the message of, I think you'll be interested in this. I didn't have the heart to tell him that I'm pretty sure this is fake, even though whatever this is looks gigantic and it looks like it's gonna topple over this paddleboard type deal. Anyhow, if anyone has any proof that this is actually real, that would be great. Yeah, and I also just kind of realized that he might actually hear this, so sorry, Sam. Alright guys, buckle up for a creepy story that'll stop you right in your tracks. A group of bikers ventured into the infamous McCoy mine in Nevada, looking for a thrill. But what they found will leave you questioning everything. They even had this brave kid with them, which you gotta give props to this guy. Anyway, they stumbled upon something truly disturbing. A pile of children's shoes in an abandoned mine. But wait, it somehow gets weirder. Mixed in with these shoes were bones. Animal or human, they couldn't really tell. But the really, truly creepy, chilling part was that these weren't old-timey shoes. These were modern sneakers. There were some Nikes, Adidas, Air Jordans, Vans, the kind of shoes that kids wear today. I mean, I'll just say it, this screams not right on so many levels. Who would collect kids' shoes and dump them in a mine? It's like maybe some creepy collector or even a serial killer using it as a trophy room. But then again, I would think there would be a huge outcry if this many kids went missing from this area. Anyhow, the whole thing is a terrifying mystery. There's no clear explanation that makes sense. It's straight up nightmare fuel. Eventually, the bikers decided to get out of there, and you can't really blame them. Nevertheless, let me know your theories in the comments. I mean, what could possibly explain this unsettling discovery?
Over where?
Now, this is a creepy video here as we see a child leave what she's doing and approach this adult that's videoing this. She points kind of excitedly towards the woods and there's something there. Something catches your eye. Let's zoom in and see what it is. It is definitely unusual. It looks vaguely human shaped, but kinda off. There doesn't seem to be much of a head, and it's hard to tell if he's even wearing clothes. It's almost like a smoky figure, like almost translucent, but it feels genuine, not like a staged prank. I mean, this is genuinely creepy. I mean, there's no way this is fake. No one would involve a child in something like this, I can't imagine. Then again, with the way things are going these days, you never know. But I digress. It's just hard to say what this could be. It's a good reminder to be aware of your surroundings, especially when kids are around. I'm hoping there's a simple explanation for this, and it's not something more sinister. Let's hope there wasn't anything dangerous lurking in those woods, but it's just a good reminder to stay alert. Now, this story is from a couple years ago, but it is crazy. So this incident transpired in the backyard of a user's home in Atlanta, Georgia. It was late at night and the couple was comfortably settled in their house when their Nest IQ security system alerted them of movement in the backyard. Now, I haven't had much experience with this type of system, but the system is designed specifically to recognize faces. So basically it displays an image of a face and asks if you recognize the person. At precisely 10:54 p.m., the security alert presented a mystifying question. Do you recognize this person? On the screen was what appeared to be a foggy, almost transparent face lurking in the yard. The OP shared their story on Reddit and mentioned that they weren't immediately asserting that the image was of a ghost. Still, they couldn't help but be spooked by the ghostly image. Now, skeptics, once they got a hold of the image, they were like, nah, this is definitely a case of pareidolia, basically the phenomena where the brain sees familiar patterns or shapes in random objects. But the weird part is that this explanation doesn't entirely hold up. I mean, it doesn't account for the initial detection of movement in the backyard that triggered this alert. Basically, alert was triggered and then they have a case of pareidolia? I don't know. But the image has become a hot topic, and opinions are divided. So what do you guys say? Is this a genuine ghost or just an optical illusion? I'll say, in situations like this where concrete evidence is scarce, people tend to interpret things differently. The truth of the matter may never come to light, and individuals must decide for themselves what they believe. Perhaps we'll never know for sure, but I think there's something to this here. Now, volcanoes erupting, it's a force of nature we've all seen on video, but check this out. Something strange is happening high above this smoke. Yeah, did you see that? See that silvery object? It's diving straight for the volcano's opening, and then poof, gone. Just gone in a puff of smoke. Now, this isn't just a random falling object. It seems controlled. Its speed's changing as it's descending. So let's cut to the chase. The million-dollar question, what is it? It's anyone's guess. Could it be a UFO? It's definitely something we can't explain easily. I mean, look at this thing. I thought at the beginning it could have been something that shot out of the volcano, but I feel like the way it vanishes into the smoke, it's just bizarre. Now, if anyone has any more information on this video or a normal explanation for this, please share it in the comments, because right now, the idea of something extraterrestrial seems pretty likely. So this is a rather strange video that didn't come with much of an explanation. This guy, it looks like he takes a puff of some weird smoke. I mean, who knows what it is? But then it's like he disappears into the ground. Just gone. Like the ground gave out. The person who uploaded it says he went to another dimension. That sounds pretty crazy, right? Well, some folks in the paranormal world believe it. They think it's proof of interdimensional travel. Others, well, they think it's a big fake. I don't know what's going on. I mean, yeah, maybe the guy just dropped down a hidden hole, or maybe he did end up in a different dimension, but something's weird about this video. I'll say this. He's either in another dimension or this is just a fake video. But let me know if you have any more information on this. I would be very interested. We've all probably taken some photos we don't want to end up on the internet. Well, mirror selfies can sometimes yield unexpected and eerie results. Take for instance a photograph shared on Reddit by a user named Confident Ebb. The image they uploaded seems to feature an unnerving figure. This figure appears to have dark gray or possibly even black skin. However, the most chilling aspect of this figure is its unusually broad smile. This mysterious entity has been dubbed the San Juan Ghost. The story behind the photo is just as intriguing as the image itself. The Reddit user explained that the selfie was taken by his sister and her friend during their stay in an old house on Brown Island, which is part of the San Juan Islands. When the two girls snapped the photo, they didn't initially see anything out of the ordinary. Yet, imagine their astonishment when they later examined the picture and found the eerie figure in the background. Interestingly enough, this particular house carries a legend of its own. The property owner has shared tales of the home being haunted by Native American spirits. Some have theorized that the figure in the photo resembles what is commonly referred to as a shadow person. As we've been over many times before, shadow people are said to be spirits that are typically in the corner of one's eye and only visible for a brief moment. They kind of dip in and dip out, but you're really questioning if you actually saw something or if it was just your imagination playing tricks on you. Now, what's unusual in this case is that the shadow people are generally believed to stay hidden, like I described. It's not often you catch them on camera. And even more so, the entity in this picture seems to be confidently posing for the camera, making its presence undeniably known. So what do we have here? This kind of eerie blend of legend, modern photography, and mystery. I mean, it leaves many, many questions. I mean, there is nothing that disrupts a peaceful night at home more than a sudden alert from your security system. But sometimes what the camera captures isn't easily understood. A video uploaded to YouTube by Riri Storytime is a prime example of such mystery. This intriguing footage comes from a camera set up on the front of a house. It's nighttime, nothing's going on. I mean, there's the occasional sounds of the night, but everything is pretty quiet on the home front. Well, unexpectedly, that calm is shattered. A series of unexplained lights dart into the frame, weaving their way between two cars that are parked in their driveway. What's weird is that for a while, these mysterious lights cut through the driveway and then seem to hover across the street. They move in a kind of methodical manner. They seem to retrace their path and begin to make their way back from where they first appeared. Strangely enough, at one point it almost looks like they're flying directly through the neighboring house.
Thing over the cars. What the is that? What is that? It's coming back. See
Yeah,
it?
it is coming back. Let me see.
Look at that. What the is that, man? That ain't no drone. I'll tell you that much. That ain't no goddamn drone.
Wait, I'm trying to see.
Look at that. It's like it goes through the house.
Oh, hell no.
You could hear the homeowners' voices. I mean, they're in the background of this video like, what's going on? They're adamant that the lights don't belong to any type of drone or anything else in the area that they have. And I will say, to be fair, based on the footage, it doesn't really look like any drone I'm familiar with, but it's pretty puzzling. Many viewers have jumped to the thrilling conclusion, could it possibly be an alien spacecraft? I mean, that's a fun theory for sure. But I'd say this single piece of footage doesn't offer enough evidence to definitively say one way or the other. It is, however, an awesome camera capture, and it deserves a little more digging. So the person who shared this video has always felt that her room has had a slightly eerie vibe to it. Basically, she's pretty sure that her room is haunted, and I'd say this footage seems to validate her long-standing suspicion. In the past, she's captured and shared videos that display what she interprets as orbs or unexplained spheres of light. However, this particular recording seems to be on a whole different level of unsettling. Check it out. This footage, taken from her bedroom, distinctly presents a mysterious shadow gliding slowly across her bed. But that's not all. For those with a keen eye, if you look closely, you'll observe another shadow reflected in the mirror situated to the far left of the room. Now, this is especially peculiar because the way that her room is set up, there shouldn't be any source in the room that could cast these type of moving silhouettes. And I mean, honestly, she's taken the time to film her bedroom, so she feels like something's going on in there. Now, the burning question is, could this be video evidence of another shadow person? I mean, these guys are the subject of numerous tales and anecdotes. For skeptics, there may be a perfectly rational explanation, but for those who've experienced this similar phenomena, it might serve as a chilling confirmation of their own encounters. Let me know if you've ever had an encounter with a shadow person. In another curious development on Reddit, a user named Lousy Mouse shared a photograph that has made the paranormal world wonder. The snapshot captures a seemingly ghostly presence. But the creepy part is that it's displayed on a child's bedroom baby monitor. The image itself depicts an almost translucent figure hovering at the photo's edge. You can see it right there on the right side, almost pressed up against the wall. Now, the mom who took this photograph said she took it while her son was deep in sleep. And many have said the spectral outline of what many claim looks like a woman, possibly donned in a nightgown, has been the epicenter of endless debates and speculation. Basically, the air is thick with theories. And there are kind of two camps. Some are saying that this might be a benevolent guardian, perhaps an angel or a spirit standing vigil as the child dreams. That's a cool kind of thought. Maybe it's a past family member or something like that. They argue that this mysterious entity might be there to protect or just watch over this young, innocent soul. Now, of course, not everyone is convinced. Some skeptics point towards more mundane explanations. They theorize that perhaps it's just a shadow cast by some type of object. It could be in a way that tricks your eyes, causing a parabolic type effect. Despite these varying beliefs, there's one undeniable fact. This photograph has piqued the interest of many paranormal investigators, and they are clamoring to get their hands on more visuals of this particular bedroom. What most are really hoping for is a chance to study images captured from the exact perspective, but it doesn't seem like they've been able to do that. As for the mom, she says she's actually battling excitement. She thinks it's kind of cool, but of course there is a hint of anxiety, so more to be revealed.
On Dread Captures, we have covered a number of clips highlighting animals in their natural surroundings. We've heard bobcats and mountain lions mating calls. We've featured deer and elk during their rutting season. The sounds these creatures make are incredibly varied, serving not just as mating calls, but also as warnings of potential danger. Now here's a clip that's rather intriguing. A police officer in Texas stopped at a rest area and managed to record an extraordinary sound coming from the woods nearby. Just listen to it.
Starting to regret that I stopped at this rest stop. And they say Bigfoot isn't real?
The volume of this bellow is striking. It's not just loud, but has an almost otherworldly quality to it. Could this be the call of an exceptionally large stag or elk? Or is there something more mysterious at play here? The police officer who recorded this sound has a tempting suggestion. Could this be the cry of Bigfoot? As much as some insist that Bigfoot is nothing but a myth, this sound certainly makes you wonder. It's a question that lingers and invites speculation. What do you think it could be? In this video, opinions are starkly divided between those who believe what they see and the skeptics. A scene unfolds where a teenager is filming a school project when something weird occurs. The camera seems to catch a glimpse of something or someone staring at him through the window. You'll need to watch closely as it's a brief moment. At one point, the family dog leaps up to fetch a tennis ball, inadvertently pushing the blinds aside. That's when you can faintly recognize half of a face peering through the window. Can you see it? Something is unmistakably peering in at them. Some viewers believe this could be an alien or even Bigfoot. The debate rages on as the face seems to be more than just a reflection. It clearly resembles a face, possibly some sort of humanoid or unknown creature. Some have suggested it might be a hoax, with a fake dummy or statue placed outside the window. But as others have noted, the dog doesn't seem alarmed by the face. Maybe it's just too engrossed in chasing the ball to notice anything else. What adds to the authenticity is the difficulty in staging this. To fake the video, the dog would have to be trained to jump on the couch at precisely the right moment, something that seems unlikely. There's no evidence of any commands given to the dog either. All in all, the video feels genuine and natural, It's a piece that certainly sparks debate and captures the imagination, whether real or a clever fabrication, and whether it depicts an alien, Bigfoot, or something else entirely. It leaves us with a lingering sense of curiosity and wonder. Leave me a comment and let yours be the one that unravels the mystery. In a chilling piece of security camera footage, something quite unsettling has been captured. Taken in the still, dark night, with no other source of illumination but the camera's IR light, this video has ignited quite a conversation. Let's take a look. What was caught on camera is deeply disturbing and seemingly inexplicable. Some initially thought it might be a flash, perhaps even a vampire, given the eerie trail it left behind. The dark figure that suddenly zoomed into the frame appeared supernatural, and the person whose trail camera caught the image was convinced he was dealing with something far from ordinary. Others, however, were more skeptical, speculating that it could be a shadow of an animal, like a bird or a swooping bat. As much as we want to settle for that mundane explanation, the ghostly appearance and otherworldly speed of the movement leave us questioning any straightforward answers. A well-known cryptid hunter has weighed in on the footage and is almost positive that this is evidence of the elusive Mothman. For those unfamiliar, the Mothman is a legendary creature reportedly seen in the Point Pleasant area of West Virginia. Described as a man-sized entity with glowing red eyes and wings like a moth, it has been associated with ominous events and disasters. The sightings and lore around the Mothman have created a significant mystique, making it a popular subject in cryptozoology and paranormal studies. So, what's your take on this footage? Could it be a mere shadow or something more supernatural like the Mothman? The enigmatic nature of the video and the varying opinions make it all the more intriguing. Feel free to share your thoughts. In February 2021, a Brazilian news broadcast was conducting an interview live on air when they inadvertently captured something truly mysterious on film.
Muitas pessoas aí estão me procurando, né? Devido à imagem que parece uma nave espacial.
The mysterious unknown object flies by in the background.
Quando então, acho que sem querer a gente pegou alguma coisa que a gente não sabe ainda o que é, não é isso, Marcelinho?
When the show went on, thousands of Brazilian locals noticed the strange object again, writing into the station. Before long, the mysterious sighting made worldwide headlines with news outlets speculating on what it might be. Let me know what you think this is in the comments. A man found himself stranded in the remote Russian wilderness after his truck gave out on him. Facing freezing temperatures, he ventured into the unfamiliar landscape, seeking help. It wasn't long before an unsettling feeling overcame him, and he began to believe that something or someone might be trailing him. What do you make of this mysterious circumstance? Share your thoughts and theories with me. A man was taking a leisurely hike in the mountains, appreciating the serene beauty of the nearby lake and the majestic mountain trails. It was the kind of tranquil day that anyone would find calming. However, this peaceful day took a startling turn when he detected a noise behind him. Fortunately, his keen eye spotted a mountain lion stealthily tracking him, most definitely seeing him as potential prey. Realizing that he was being pursued by the mountain lion, fear gripped him, and he began to run for his life.
Oh, shit! Hey! Rah! Rah!
In a desperate attempt to fend off the predator, the man let out a loud roar, pulling out all the stops in hopes to get the lion to stop. A Astonishingly, this raw human roar managed to halt the big cat in its tracks. It was indeed a fortunate escape on what could have been a very unlucky day. In the following footage, we introduce you to an inquisitive bear. This particular bear has made an appearance on this trail camera more than once, leaving us wondering what exactly it was doing there. One thing is clear though, the bear wasn't a fan of being watched. Deciding to take action, it used its powerful paws to attack the camera, biting and tearing at it until it was completely demolished. The bear's aggressive dismantling left no trace of its presence, and as the video abruptly ends, it becomes apparent that the camera was torn to shreds by this fierce creature. This leaves us without any further footage of the animal, leading us to believe that perhaps, like us, bears also appreciate their privacy. Jacob Gardner, while exploring last week, couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched.
Something was like in the trees, kind of like going from tree to tree, so I figured like maybe it was a bigger bird or something.
Working near hiking trails in La Crucenta, Jacob decided to take a video on his phone during his afternoon break. The spot was not far from the highway and a nearby YMCA. However, it was only later that he realized what he had recorded.
It totally hit me that like that's must have been what I heard and what was making me feel a little bit uneasy at the time.
We've slowed down the video for a closer look, and you can see something swinging high among the trees. A local CBS news station presented the video to a fish and wildlife expert for review.
It looks like an ape, and it definitely could possibly be an ape.
Here's what he had to say. Despite being close to a freeway, the area is not completely devoid of wildlife. Sightings of deer and smaller animals are common, but an ape? There have been no previous reports of an ape being spotted in the area. Some comments left on the video say that it is definitely an ape. Others think it's a baby Sasquatch, while some naysayers believe it to be simply an odd angle of tree branches blowing in the wind. What say you guys?
Well, is it a legend, a folk legend, or has a local farmer actually found proof of the mysterious Chupacabra, an elusive animal said to feed off the blood of livestock? Well, that question has residents in Nelson County buzzing after a farmer captures the unusual animal. So far, it can't be explained. WLKY's Ann Bowden went to Nelson County and to see the farm and see the animal herself. She joins us now with more. And before you get going, was it as unusual as residents are saying it is?
Rick, I really cannot explain it. It is hard to explain it. And unless you see it in person, pictures really don't do it justice. It is just freakishly weird. And you don't know how to explain it, whether it's a Chupacabra or not.
The discovery occurred when the farmer, Mark Catherine, noticed something strange in his field.
I saw something move down in this field below the house here, and it just looked unusual.
The creature came closer to Mark's farmhouse, prompting him to take a better look through his binoculars. His wife joined him, but the more they observed, the stranger it appeared.
Strange, so I'm going to get my rifle and shoot it and get a close look, you know. And I'm glad I did because it's, I don't know what it is. It's been anything from a big rat to the legendary Chupacabra.
Many times these Chupacabra sightings end up being a dog or coyote with mange, and that makes sense. However, some time back, a lady in Texas killed one and had its DNA tested, and it came back as an unknown species. Really makes you wonder what we're dealing with here. Here's a delightful clip that showcases two charming baby fawns sprawled on a gravel road. These innocent creatures seem to believe they're hiding from the human filming them, who they likely view as a threat. Yet, their attempt at concealment is amusingly ineffective, as they're quite noticeable. Nevertheless, it's an incredibly cute and amusing moment to witness. These fawns are seen bedding down, lying as low and motionless as possible. Whether it's an innate behavior or something learned from their mother, their intention is to remain undetected. If you've ever been in the woods and had a deer suddenly leap up beside you, you know how startling it can be. But it's also remarkable how close these creatures can let you approach before they decide to move. This leads to a couple of intriguing questions. If you were to come across these two baby fawns on the road, what would your reaction be? And what's your theory on how they found themselves in this unusual situation to begin with? In the scenic woods of Oregon, a group of musician friends were enjoying a jam session when an unexpected incident took place. In the midst of their playing, a small creature suddenly launched an attack, striking one of the friends, Derek, on his shoulder. The instruments fell silent as everyone stared in shock at the tiny assailant. It was a bat, and it had hit Derek with a soft thump, then proceeded to climb up his body. The group watched, horrified, as Derek felt the cold snout of the bat and its tiny but sharp teeth sink into his neck, perilously close to his jugular vein. In a desperate move, Derek managed to throw the bat off, only to see it fly into a nearby tree, where it continued to watch them, eerily silent. Though shaken, the friends tried to dismiss the incident as a one-time freak event and resume playing. But the bat was not done. It made two more aggressive swipes at Derek. That was enough for one of his friends, who took a BB gun and shot the bat. The friends collected the dead bat and took it to the local health department for testing. The results confirmed their worst fears. Derek had been bitten by a rabid bat. The following days were filled with anxiety and discomfort as he underwent a series of rabies shots. This chilling encounter serves as a cautionary tale and a reminder that even a casual outing can turn into something far more serious. It's an experience the group is unlikely to forget, and it leaves us with a lingering sense of unease about what can lurk in seemingly peaceful surroundings. With the rise of artificial intelligence, it's getting harder to tell what's real and what's fake. Consider this image, for example. It looks genuine and might very well be. Here's the story. A hunter put a hidden camera in a tree and left it there for weeks or even months. When he checked the footage, he found something truly unsettling. An unknown hairy creature on all fours. What do you make of it? To me, it might be a young Sasquatch. It's on all fours and covered in hair, like you'd expect from a Sasquatch. But its legs and lower half seem slimmer than others I've seen. Without more footage or different angles, though, we can't be certain. What do you think? Could this be a juvenile Sasquatch or something else entirely? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share them in the comments. A man recently submitted a video to a channel claiming that his trail camera caught a Skinwalker transforming back into its human form. Let's take a closer look. In the footage, we can see a forested area with what appears to be a human figure, specifically a man, covered in mud and centered in the frame. He seems to be moving from left to right. The scene is puzzling. It's not something you'd typically expect to find. After all, who would be wandering around this area naked, coated in mud, unless they were in the process of shifting from a wild creature back into human form? Now, I know that sounds bizarre, but we've witnessed plenty of unexplainable things in our world, so I can't entirely dismiss the possibility. We're inclined to think that the person who submitted the image may be onto something and could very well be telling the truth. Unfortunately, we don't have information about where the image was captured. So, what's your take on this? Could we be looking at a real-life Skinwalker in the midst of transformation? Or perhaps it's just a human caught in an unusual situation in the woods. There's always the chance that it's an elaborate hoax, too. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this mysterious occurrence. Caught on dashcam in the midst of a blizzard in Buffalo, New York. Is a sighting that will stop you in your tracks. As you direct your attention to the right side of the screen, an unusually tall and slender figure emerges from the snow's cover. Some believe this to be the Slender Man, a mythical entity characterized by its towering height, featureless face, and elongated arms, often associated with the stalking, disappearance, and general terror of its victims. The authenticity of this capture remains a hot debate. Personally, the extended reach of the creature's arms and its lack of effort to conceal itself raise my suspicions. However, the intrigue surrounding the sighting is undeniable. So I want to hear from you. What's your take on this eerie encounter? Is it a genuine glimpse of the legendary Slender Man, or just a clever fabrication, real or fake? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
A couple captured this intriguing image while they were renovating their mobile home. Picture this. Over several weeks, you hear odd sounds at irregular intervals. At night, you can't shake the feeling that someone or something is peeping into your home through the windows. It's unnerving, to say the least. You have no concrete evidence, just this looming sense of unease. So, you decide to set up a camera near the window, hoping to catch the cause of your discomfort. After a while, you muster the courage to review the footage. Your heart skips a beat when, on the screen, you spot a mysterious figure that you hadn't expected. Looking closely, the facial features hint at the possibility of it being Bigfoot. But then you wonder, are there any other creatures with such distinctive characteristics? What makes this even more puzzling is the fact that, according to the couple, there aren't any apes or similar large primates known to inhabit that region. This leads to even more questions. If it truly is Bigfoot, are these elusive beings becoming less cautious, allowing themselves to be seen more often? Or is there a deeper, possibly hidden agenda that we're yet to discover? This unsettling video, which has been buried through the years, was posted on the YouTube channel Anything Whatever. As a couple plus one drive through the isolated forests near Provo, Utah, the person recording and their companions felt an eerie sensation of being watched from the shadows of the trees. Trusting their gut, they swiftly turned their car around and began filming, anticipating an unexpected development. Here's the chilling scene they captured deep within the dense woods.
Around this corner, I think. Like right here somewhere.
Oh, look, right there, right there. Stop, stop, stop. Back up, back up. It was right there. I just saw it.
Yeah, I saw it too.
Gosh. Watch out, you're like going off the road. Like right here somewhere. Oh, look, right there, right.
Navigating through the nearly impenetrable darkness, the car's headlights briefly reveal an entity standing precisely between two trees, just as Anything Whatever had described. This being appears robust and is covered in thick fur. What's more unsettling is its gaze, which seems to fixate on the passengers, yet it doesn't attempt to hide as they drive past. The video is titled Bigfoot Sighting Near Sundance, Utah, and many viewers are convinced they're seeing the legendary Bigfoot in action. However, the question remains, is this a genuine glimpse of the mysterious Bigfoot? Let me know what you guys think, and if you've seen this video before. It's not every day that someone snaps a vivid image of a potential supernatural entity. However, Jerry Moran, a mother from Derry, Northern Ireland, managed to capture an astonishing yet eerie image during a forest hike. Eager to immortalize memories of her family outing, Jerry took several photographs of her loved ones. But upon reviewing the pictures at home, she was taken aback by an unexpected discovery. The photo in question showcases Jerry's children enjoying their time in the forest. But upon closer inspection, an unfamiliar figure can be spotted right before her son Finn. Recalling her experience, Jerry mentioned, quote, After our walk, I was looking through all the photos I had taken and noticed a kind of shadow or disturbance in front of my son Finn. She continues, when I looked closer, I couldn't believe what I saw. It looked like a man to me. It looked like a soldier standing there beside the tree. None of us saw anything when we were walking past the tree. There was nothing there to see the kids didn't notice anything and weren't afraid or anything. It really freaked me out when I saw it at home. On my phone, the kids want to head back out again. This week for a walk, once the photograph gained traction on local media outlets, dairy historian Ken McCormack shed light on its significance. He highlighted that the very spot where this eerie silhouette appeared used to be a post for the British military in the early 20th century. Ken opined that the shadowy figure bore a strong resemblance to a military officer from that era. So, the question arises, did Jerry Moran inadvertently photograph the spectral image of a bygone soldier? Share your thoughts below. This image sure looks normal at first glance, but a second and third look, and you'd realize that there is nothing normal about it. At first, it looks like a coyote. You look closely and realize that although it does look like a coyote, it has features that are somewhat reminiscent of a wolf. Despite the blend of features, it's not a coy wolf either. You look at its eyes and you'd realize that they're not a normal color you'd expect from such a canine. It almost looks possessed, as though there were some other entity possessing its body, or perhaps another being had shape-shifted and taken its form. Many that have seen it believe it to be a skinwalker. A mother deer used to hang around the Trailcam where this was captured until this strange thing started showing up. At the beginning of the video clip, the camera slowly zooms into a picturesque cluster of trees that you might typically find in any woodland area, but within a few moments, the scene shifts from serene to surreal. Suddenly, from the depths of this forest, a bizarre figure emerges. It seems almost otherworldly, a puzzling entity perched high on a tree branch. At a quick glance, this figure bears a resemblance to a human, but its features are indistinct, making it difficult to clearly identify. Encountering such a sight in person would likely send anyone in fear. Now, here's where it gets even more intriguing. The video is purportedly a screen recording from Google Maps. That's right. According to the person who uploaded the clip, this revelation has sparked heated debate among viewers. Some are convinced that the video has captured evidence of a supernatural entity. They argue that there's something out there that defies our understanding. On the other hand, skeptics dismiss the entire thing as absurd. They contend that it's implausible for Google Maps to capture such anomalies in a forest setting. So, the question remains, is this a genuine glimpse into the unknown, or just a curious quirk of technology? The camera captures a moment so delicate and silent, it makes even the faintest whisper sound, as jarring as a plate shattering on the floor. Suddenly, and seemingly out of thin air, a figure dashes into view, racing swiftly to the right. Its destination? That remains unclear. This mysterious entity has a figure that's both haunting and fascinating. It bears a spooky resemblance to a ghost, but with legs that stretch long, reminiscent of those on an ostrich or perhaps a flamingo. Upon closer inspection, the oddity intensifies. This figure doesn't seem to have an upper body at all. Instead, its form looks as ghostly and intricate as a spider's web floating in the breeze. Despite its unusual and eerie appearance, the figure moves with a purpose. It strides forward with an air of confidence, exuding a sense of power. This raises so many questions. What is this strange being? Where is it headed? And most importantly, what could possibly explain its very existence? Could this be some cryptic creature from folklore? Or perhaps, considering the season, it's merely an individual in an ingeniously crafted Halloween costume? If it's the latter, then kudos to the creator. Let me know your thoughts. Today's intriguing footage hails from the Japanese paranormal channel, Fourth Wall. A man sent a video to the Fourth Wall crew, sharing that after rescuing a stray cat previously owned by his home's former inhabitants, strange events began occurring. He gifted the cat to his acquaintances, the Kimuras. However, just a few months later, due to unsettling incidents in the residence, the Kimuras chose to relocate. It was said that the house had a sinister history, spanning 2 decades, with tales hinting that an earlier dweller may have been under a possessed spirit. It was also said that a man met his demise near the door in question. Determined to document the eerie occurrences, the man placed cameras around the house, particularly focusing on the notorious door linked to the tragedy from 2 decades prior. The initial recording showed a paper eerily slipping off a shelf. Disturbed by these happenings, the Kimuras left. They couldn't stand it anymore, and ultimately this left the house deserted. However, the owner's recording endeavors continued. A few nights in, the static camera captured a particularly haunting scene. A door gently swung open on its own, revealing a ghostly white figure in the doorway. Blown away, he began examining all the video clips from the time the Kimuras inhabited the place. During his review, he stumbled upon a spine-chilling moment. The footage showed Mr. Kimura entering the living space, then peculiarly standing still for about 2 minutes. Bizarrely, he later squatted next to the infamous door. As one of their cats sauntered in, it seemingly disregarded Mr. Kimura as if he wasn't truly himself. He eventually exited the area. A side note when asked about the video, Mr. Kimura had no recollection of this. Many who viewed this unsettling video on YouTube speculated that the dwelling might be haunted by the soul of the individual who died there 20 years ago. Some even theorized that the ghostly figure was a malevolent being that might have taken over. Mr. Kimura echoing the event from 20 years back. Is the residence truly cursed? Did he indeed capture supernatural phenomena on camera? I'm very curious about what you guys think.